believe that the good things in life come in threes. This is something that has been echoed by philosophers both in the Western world and by our own very noted poets and shires, etc. And it so happens that the individual joining us today is also symbolic and representative of a certain trifecta, which is why we are calling this the trifecta of tranquility, because Mansi Pandey, who's joining us, is many things, but chief amongst them, she is a very sought after nutritionist and coach. She is a yoga and movement therapist. And she is currently doggedly also pursuing psychology because I think she came to the organic and natural realization that there is deep affinity and connection between these three streams, and they are in fact and indeed symbiotic. It's quite amazing for me to see a relatively young woman such as herself who's already accomplished so much in life. I'm a little bit envious, but mostly very proud. And therefore, it's a huge privilege to have her. I would like to welcome Mansi and thank her for making the time.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. I'm very grateful.
So, Mansi, generally, I start with most of my guests by asking them to talk a little bit about their current work in their own words, because obviously you can do it much better than I can. So, please tell us.
So I'm Mansi, and I was born and brought up in Bombay. I stay with my family, and I actually started my career as something else in the field of finance and marketing. Gradually, I come to realization that I don't like those fields at all. Then I actually pursued a lot of things. It's been 10 years of my career experience. But for past 5 years, all I'm doing is being a nutritionist and a wellness coach to many out there. I started my own company during lockdown when it was much needed to tap those markets because I could see everybody falling sick just because they have been so careless all their lives and not known what immunity is. And suddenly we were, introduced to the word immunity. My mother started saying it. I mean, it was quite shocking. So, so opened a company called the Food Nutrition Coach, and in the very first month itself, we had 5 to 6 clients. I am a clinical nutritionist. My sister is a nutritionist, and she's the co-founder, and I'm the founder of the company. It's been 5 good years, since we are running this company, and we have transformed nearly 5,000 to 6,000 people. Actually, we don't
Wow.
actually count that number because it keeps increasing every and I am glad it is. Um, that's all. I mean, I first pursued my education in clinical nutrition. I did my diploma and everything. Then I opened the company. Then I hired people, and now we have team of 8, 9 people working across the globe. We have employees in Nigeria also, and we all are trying to help people around the globe. Then gradually, I realized that see, if you want to become something, you should not never stop learning. That's what
Hmm.
I realized in life, and that motivated me to pursue yoga. And also yoga was something very close to my heart. When people say yoga healed me, for some people, for the pursuers, it may feel that we are oversaying it or overdoing it, but trust me, whatever we are saying is an understatement.
Hmm.
Yoga, it it heals you in ways you will never realize. The moment you sit on that mat, the moment you come to realization, the moment to yoga is not about losing weight anyway. It's about more self-awareness, and we all lack self-awareness, including me. That's what I feel. Most of us think we are self-aware, but we are not. And then gradually I became a yoga instructor. I did my 500 hours of TTC from Rishikesh. Then I did my prenatal postnatal course also from Rishikesh, and then I added the service to my company. Now we cater to people, like now we have team of trainers who help people online, offline, to do yoga and perform yoga practices. Then I realized that there was something I was missing, and that was the mental game. I was sorted with the physical game, understanding the body in general. I'm sorry, understanding the body in general. But then I realized that the mental game is missing, and hence I did my master's in psychology. So now I'm currently pursuing master's in psychology and trying to understand people and their behaviors and how they are like so troubled in life through mental awareness, because it's all in your mind. That's all.
Unbelievable. I want to ask you, of course, without breaching any sort of boundaries of privacy that you don't wish to, but I'd like for our audience to get an insight around the fact that you did do various kinds of jobs for a good decade. But then, in a sense, you left that, if we can broadly call it the corporate world and corporate life, and you decided to get into nutrition. I want to understand some factors specifically that compelled you in this direction to leave that world, and then why nutrition specifically to start with.
So I don't know. I really did. I don't understand. I never understand that how I was always so curious about weight loss and maintaining myself and eating well and glowing skin. So at the moment I entered my college, usually, back then it was taboo for women to go work out in the gym, but I went against my parents, fought with them and told them, I'm going to the gym. I don't know. So the moment I went to the gym, all the trainers, they always encouraged me. Why don't you become a trainer? Why don't you become a, gym enthusiast? You will help people. And I always said, no, I have a well-paying job. I'm happy. And so, like, I kept moving past those comments. But then gradually what happened is I started motivating people in my family. We always have that family member who is not eating healthy,
Yep,
who's
yep.
not taking care of themselves. So I won't say that I was the best tutor, to be very honest. I still look back and I think of the guidelines that I asked them to follow who could have been wrong sometimes. I tell them also now, I'm sorry, I told you I was so strict.
But I think we can all be happily accused of using our family and friends as guinea pigs and our first initial test subjects.
And I was so young. I was just like 19, 20 when I
Hmm.
was doing this. And I was helping my Bua to lose weight. She lost 13 kgs. And
Wow.
I have a super power. You have that feeling.
Of course.
I am able to do this. And I used to drag her to the gym every day. My sister, my sibling herself, she was gaining weight, but sometimes there are times when you look at your family member and you say, were you really this healthy? Why didn't I see it? Because you're so stressed with life,
Yeah.
you're so into within yourself, and your life is so fast paced that you don't look around. So I did not look around, and I realized that during lockdown that my sister is actually like heavy and
Hmm.
she gained weight. And it is troubling her. She's not able to go for a walk. I used to tell her, let's go for a run. She'll be like, I'm bored, I cannot come. We would make work plans every morning, she would ditch. And I realized that no, I have to work around her. So she and I together started, creating plans, understanding, reading about food in general, how it is. Food is just not, you eat, you digest. Food is just not proteins, fats, and
Sure.
I think food is chemistry. Like food is beyond, you have to understand every molecule, how
Yep.
is it reacting in your body.
Yep.
So my sister and I started studying, and we realized she lost 17, 18 kgs again with me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nearly 19 kgs actually. And that's when we were confident enough to start that no, it's time that we can use this power to help people. And if it works out well and good, if it doesn't, it's life. We will move past it. It's that simple.
While we're on the subject of nutrition, and of course, I mean, one understands that we can have several sessions just around nutrition. We've had sessions with nutritionists, but briefly, if I was to ask you, what are the key or top two, three things in terms of nutrition that have an influence and an impact on the mental makeup and state of an individual? What might those be?
I think right from everything that you put in your mouth has mental impact. And trust me, I'm not over exaggerating it. What I have realized is you are what you eat.
Hmm.
It's actually true. And you won't believe nutrition is a very old concept, like a very
Hmm.
old concept. Aristotle, since we spoke about them in the very beginning, Stoics, these very first philosophers, they spoke about food, you are what you eat was actually told by them.
Hmm.
And anything that you put in your mouth is ultimately affecting your brain. Now, when you put sugar, dopamine release is there, but it
Sure.
is also leading to inflammation in the body.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now that inflammation is causing, sadness, anxiety, fatigue. So there is this temporary dopamine rush and permanent inflammation.
Yeah.
So it is everything. Your gut brain axis is it's a true concept,
Sure.
like
Sure.
if your gut is unhealthy, no matter how beautiful your life is, or no matter you have Jaguar or Mercedes, you will still be sitting inside sad with that stomach ache and then feeling of and that whole feeling of fatigue and feeling of anxiety, feeling of lethargic, not being able to enjoy the moment truly. So it's all like intellect, and then there is serotonin, there is everything like pheromones, everything is interlinked, your hormones, how they act. And you won't believe, our hormones are mainly made up of proteins and fats.
Hmm.
Okay, so and India being deprived in protein, imagine how difficult it will be for them to manage their emotions.
Sure.
So yes, it is all linked together. I think we don't understand. Only if we had an X-ray machine instead of mirrors in the house, we would know.
So true. Well, let's come to yoga then, because again, I want to understand that you're on this nutrition path. You've embarked on it. You're seeing fabulous results amongst family, and you've started doing it more seriously, more professionally. Again, with a certain amount of success. What is this कीड़ा that happens that नहीं नहीं अब जाके और ऋषिकेश में योगा करना है?
I think I wish everybody got this kira. They would know. We say that once you do it, you know it. It's that simple. But see, I'll tell you, life has its own like ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride, and we have to agree to it. And we are no perfections. I mean, today I think I am aware, but maybe I'm not fully aware, and I'll be a different person 5 years down the line. So back when I went, I started realizing then that, oh, I'm not aware, I'm not self-aware, I don't know who I am. I had lots of, identity crisis, I can tell. What kind of a person am I? Am I somebody who likes to buy Mercedes, or am I someone who likes to, rather sit on a bicycle and go for a ride? That those questions when it
Mm-hmm,
strikes.
mm-hmm.
So I think that was the phase when I had identity crisis, and I so 4 years ago I was diagnosed with BPD because I knew that my anger was not normal. I mean, I would not harm people, I would not do anything, but I would do a lot of self harm. And initially, because our Indian society is so like not aware,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry to say that, but
sure.
our Indian society is so much of belief of no mental health as such, and you are just overacting concept, that we realize that, oh, maybe I'm designed this way, and
Mm-hmm,
start self-blaming. We start
mm-hmm,
wearing our traumas like badges. So
mm-hmm,
there was a time when I was started wearing my trauma like badges, only to realize that it is doing no good to me. I am
mm-hmm,
worsening my situation. And that's when I decided. So I used to like end up fighting with my parents every now and then for no reasons. I mean, I had no reasons to fight. They were walking on eggshells around me. I used to blame them that it's their
mm-hmm,
fault. They don't understand me. They don't understand me. But I failed to understand there is a certain way of life. People come from different roots and environments, and I am acting out and I'm expecting things to go my way. Yeah, that's where I realized, and then I went to a psychologist because it was a new concept to me. In fact, my family members told me, you're going to a psychologist, you are not mad, stop pretending like you are mad, you are overdoing it. Why are you going to a psychologist? Why are you going to a psychiatrist?
So, but I'm curious, Mansi, since we're on the subject, did you then, does that mean that the decision to seek a professional opinion was yours?
It was actually recommended by someone very close to me, my
Okay.
partner back then.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that, Mansi, I really feel that you have these symptoms.
Hmm.
He was quite well, quite aware, like
Hmm.
about it. And I thought that he's just making it up. He's
Hmm. Hmm.
finding
Hmm.
reasons to fight with me, and he
Hmm.
doesn't like me.
So there was a little bit of initial denial.
A
Hmm.
lot, for a
Hmm.
very long time. I
Hmm.
think I kept saying that no way I have
Hmm.
anything. It's you guys. You all are the one who make me
Correct.
happy. And I played a lot of like blame game back.
Hmm, hmm,
I
hmm,
will not lie.
hmm.
And when I went to the psychiatrist or psychologist also, I thought my vitamin D was quite low back then. And that was the reason for me to be upset most of the time.
Right.
I had no serotonin levels managed as such. And yes, I felt that sometimes I'm just angry for no reason. And, something as petty, as futile could also trigger me.
Hmm, hmm.
So I realized that, yeah, gradually I started reading about it. I think one can only help themselves when they want to.
Of course, yes. No doubt about that.
I harassed everybody. I ate medicines for the sake of it. I kept fighting and saying that I don't have anything. You all are making it up. You all are trying to make me prove mad and this and that. Until I realized that no, I actually have a problem, and which is creating difficult situations in my relationship, be it with my
Hmm,
father, be it with my mother, or with my partner.
hmm, hmm,
So
hmm.
yeah, I think I realized, and gradually when I realized, being in denial, there was out like superficially I was like, no, I'm fit, I have
Of
nothing, I don't
course.
have VPD. Internally, I was coming in terms and a slow
Hmm,
and
hmm,
steady. I
hmm,
was like,
hmm.
there's something wrong, Mansi. Then I went for yoga, and I actually realized that the difference.
Hmm,
When I was productive, when I was in that zone, when I was on the mat, I was doing something, when I was observing myself, I
hmm,
said, then I started saying it out aloud that yes,
hmm.
I have been suffering from BPD, and please help me. And trust me, automatically my all relationships, I'm not saying my ex-partner is no more with me, we are no more together, and circumstances were such that we had to
Sure.
part ways, and I don't blame him. He
Right.
did his best, and I will always appreciate him for the person he is.
Hmm. In other words, what you're saying is that yoga perhaps brought a certain amount of objectivity, which allowed you to see things from a slightly different and more realistic perspective about yourself. And also, if correct me if I'm wrong, ultimately brought the much needed stillness and calm that you probably required.
Yes, I went from being monkey mind to a stable mind. That's, I mean, yeah, because yoga talks about monkey mind. There is a whole concept of monkey mind in yoga, which is so beautiful. You know,
Hmm.
yoga describes minds in 6, 7 ways. You can put yourself under one of those terms, and you can realize, and you can actually realize. So I'm not saying yoga and the concepts are completely reliable,
Sure.
but it is definitely something to start with.
And just out of curiosity, Mansi, but how long did you end up being in Rishikesh?
So I was there on and off for 2 months, then for a month again, then for 2 months again. But
Okay.
in mountains, total I was for 3 years.
Wow. And so during that whole process, you were still managing to sort of balance doing that and your work?
Yes, I was. My sister was handling lots of clients offline,
Sure.
and I was doing all online because
Hmm.
we cater across the globe. Like we are
Right.
in 12
Right.
countries more. So I used to handle clients from out of India or sometimes out of Bombay. But my sister would like meet people who are willing to meet
Correct.
offline.
Correct.
And thanks to my sister, I give her the credit. Because of her, the whole company sustained. She was there, she was being the face, and she never complained. Like she never told me that you are a problem, you create
Hmm.
problems. She never said like harsh words, which usually people
Hmm.
end up saying in relationships. And
Who's younger?
I am the oldest in my family, so
Hmm.
oldest, and she's younger to me, 1.5 years younger. But she's great. She's amazing. She's like a second mother to me.
Wonderful. Now you come back, you've done your yoga, you're already carrying on with nutrition. Then a third kira bites you. Um, I don't want to get into why because it's quite obvious. But what I do want to ask you is that now, for some time that you have been studying the subject of psychology, in terms of these three branches or pillars, what are some realizations you have come to in terms of the linkages that they have?
Very much connected. I think when I was studying nutrition, then also I realized that there are a couple of ways that mind can impact.
Sure.
But now I know deeper. Now I can
Hmm.
say that. But yes, indeed, your mind comes first and then the whole process follows. I can put it that way.
And is that a an evolving intellectual knowledge and insight that is now finding its way into the kinds of things you suggest to your clients?
Absolutely. I think after I've studied psych, after I've, so see, initially when I was not studying psychology, my clients would share things with me, but
Hmm.
I would not be able to, like, give them the guidance that they needed,
Hmm.
mental health that they needed. For
Hmm.
example, if somebody came and told me that I have a very hectic lifestyle, my
Hmm.
in-laws are very like pressurizing me. They don't let me follow a diet plan, and they think I am, I'm just overdoing it. I don't need to lose weight. I used to be like, it's okay, I understand. Don't worry, it will be fine. But now I give them all the ways they can, help change their situation. So
Hmm.
a lot of difference.
Yeah,
Now my clients
absolutely.
feel more connected to me compared to
Absolutely,
before.
absolutely. No, that's exactly the response I was hoping to solicit, because you are now, I think, able to guide and support in a much more holistic manner.
Yeah, much more holistic manner, I can tell.
Wonderful. Finally, then, I want to ask you, Mansi, and we like to sort of close our sessions on a note of suggestion, hope, etc. We all understand and know the reasons that still in our country, especially, not many people have access to resources such as yourself for various reasons. They can be financial, otherwise, etc. What are the few things that you could suggest to these kinds of people that they may do quite simply अपने आप से in terms of lifestyle changes to just improve their lives?
So I will first like to tell people that you need to start asking questions
Hmm.
yourself. Just start asking questions to yourself. So I will suggest that first start asking questions. What is wrong? Is it
Hmm.
something really wrong out there? Is it something that needs to be addressed? Because if there is nothing wrong, that nothing needs to be addressed.
Sure.
First thing that. Second thing, make a list of things, If you are a person who is very angry, if you are a person who cannot manage their relationships, if you are a person who is failing constantly at something, if you
Hmm.
are a person you're chasing something and you're not able to, make a list of those things, start journaling, start writing it down. Because you don't realize the beauty of journaling something and putting it down to articulate it better in your mind.
Absolutely.
Most of
Absolutely.
the times you're not able to articulate in your mind.
Yeah.
Third thing I will ask, that just make simple changes. By simple changes is start loving yourself. The moment you start loving yourself, you will start eating well, you will start moving more, you will start enjoying things that you don't enjoy, you will start meeting right people. I think the only thing that lacks in today's time is not enough self-love. We are
Hmm.
so busy loving others, loving our partners, chasing that relationship, chasing that perfect son, perfect daughter, perfect. Start loving yourself first, accept who you are, and things will start changing for you. That's all I can tell from all my experiences.
Huh, but you say that very modestly. That's all I can tell, but it's all extremely important stuff. In fact, it's also very refreshing, because most of the time the responses I get are very specific things like you know, go for a walk or take out 10 minutes for yourself. But what you've spoken about are very fundamental things that are simply done, and they are very, very deeply impactful. So, thank you for laying those out so wonderfully and simply. And for this entire interaction, I have told you offline, I'm telling you again online. It's amazing the work you're doing and the amount you're accomplishing and the number of people that you're able to alleviate the lives of. So, all the best to your sister and yourself. And it's been a wonderful chat.
Likewise, it's been wonderful being here, and I'm really honored. And I hope this helps people, and people also can reach out to me. um, I also asked my NGO if, we can mention about the prison thing, and they said yes, we can. So we are really helping these female prisoners to understand themselves better through yoga, through music, through art, and they're doing this beautiful art out there. The NGO that I'm associated with is +91, and they're doing
Hmm.
a great job for all the female and male prisoners out there. So I am looking forward to like meet more and more such people, people like you, who are actually working on mental health. Lots of NGOs, they want to give sanitary pads, and which is also a good cause. I'm
Sure,
not
sure.
undermining that, but this is the mental health is the actual cause that needs to be fixed in the society, is what I believe. And I'm glad that we met and I was able to do this. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, and I'm really glad that you were able to speak about your interventions and programs that you're conducting with inmates. That's so important. Wonderful work again. So thank you, and we'll be in touch.
Same, likewise. Good evening. Bye.